Now, droughts across Europe are throwing up some archaeological relics that have never been seen before as water levels drop and reveal hidden parts of history. In the River Danube, dozens of Nazi warships have appeared for the first time since they were scuttled in 1944. And eerie warnings of famine from history, so-called hunger stones, have been seen on the Rhine. Well, Gillian Hovell is the muddy archaeologist and can tell us more. Gillian, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
This sounds fascinating. Tell me a bit more about the Nazi warships in the Danube.
Yes, well, there's over 20 of them which were scuttled during World War II. And they did make an appearance 20 years ago, actually, 2003, when there was a heat wave. But it's so severe this time that actually they're appearing even more, and it's narrowing the spaces that ships can get through. So it's making life difficult to navigate. So it's not just an archaeological investigation that's going on, it's actually causing a bit of a problem, really.
And I understand that there might be some fears that there could be explosives on board.
Indeed there is. Indeed, back in July, I think it was detonated 7th of August, if I remember right, that in the River Po in Italy, there was a detonation of a massive bomb that was found in a river. So it's not the first time that this has happened. And of course, ships go down with their ammunition on board. So it's not something you want to bump into.
No, certainly not. And also these hunger stones, which have been seen elsewhere. What are they? What are they like?
Oh, they're fantastic, actually. They're such a human thing because they put them in the river, or they've left them in the river, and when the water gets to a particular level, it goes down and these stones appear. But the water has to be so low that it was times of famine. And what they did was they actually wrote the date when they appeared on them. And I think the ones which were in south of Frankfurt, there was ones in the 40s, one in the 50s, one 20 years ago, one a few years ago. But one in the Elbe was first carved back in the 1400s, would you believe? And it surfaced in 1616. And then locals inscribed on it then, "If you see me, weep." Because
goodness.
It's a time of famine, so it's a very human thing that people see them and go, we've got serious problems now.
Yeah, and they really are like memorial stones then.
They are, because they've been inscribed on every year that they've appeared. And so we can see quite how frequently it is. It's a remarkable record, really, to show when the climate or the rainfall dropped.
Indeed. I mean, it's not something, for practical reasons we would want to be happening all the time, but it still is fascinating when these things are revealed.
Well, it is. Oh, yes, we don't want it to happen too often, obviously, but what we also get is we get rivers which are dropping because of rainfall shortage, but also reservoirs where they were flooded by people, and they obviously flooded areas that were previously lived in. So when we get reservoirs which are drying up, we get villages, we get churches. In Britain, we even get medieval pack horse bridges because, of course, the reservoirs fill valleys, which had rivers in them originally. So you get little bridges coming up. And I think the most exciting one is that in Spain, there's a Neolithic stone circle of dozens of stones, which was flooded in 63, I think it was, and it's only been visible 4 times since then. So
amazing.
Madrid University is rushing in to investigate.
I bet they are. Gillian, we could talk about this all day, couldn't we? But unfortunately, time is against us. Thanks for joining us, though, Gillian Hovell.
And that is it for Lunchtime Live.